How much does a lightsaber cost?
Well, it depends. Are you a Jedi or not?
Did you, like, we never covered, like, I'm talking about you building one all secretly in your closet. It's like, wait a minute, you have to buy the components. How much do you have the money?
Asking Rahal for it, yes.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Daddy, can I have a small loan?
Daddy Warbucks. So, back when Dina sent you off to your planet, right? You know you're going to have to build a lightsaber, and Dina's going to train you. So, I'm sure you and Dina discussed, you know, like some basic cost of what it would be. So, we're talking about, like, what, $4,500 credits?
Yes. So, I talked to her about some various augmentations that I would want for my fighting style in particular, and she gave me the spitball of 4,500 for a base lightsaber, that Luke or Anakin would use. Those are 1,500 for the components, and then you have to make a DC 20 use the force check to make it. But if you want to buy it like pre-made, it's double the cost. So it's 3,000 for a regular lightsaber, 6,000 I think for the double lightsaber that
So have you got this cash, Rahal?
Oh yeah, I already took it off my sheet.
Okay. So I would have that roll of use the force for making it right now. Hello everyone and welcome to season 4 of We Shot First Saga Edition Star Wars. We're playing book 4, Echoes of the Jedi, and we left off with some awesome scenes about our Jedi getting, well, much more Jedi. What'd you get for completing your lightsaber?
I got a natural 20 for a 35.
Oh my god, it's perfect. Don't ever take it apart. You'll never get it back together so perfectly again, right?
You have that right.
In that moment of a natural 20, as you make it, okay, the captain finishes his bottle ship on the bridge. Remember that scene? Like, oh, it's perfect. The cafeteria lady like serves perfect portions. It's just all this sort of completion just spreads around you.
The nimbus, stars have aligned.
Nimbus, like all around you. Rahal walks by your quarters and finds a data stick with well, it's got Bitcoin on it, so you never know its value. It's going to fluctuate. And I'm not going to give Rahal more money. The game gives him plenty. But you get the idea, Everyone's having a good day. Welcome back to another episode of We Shot First Star Wars Saga Edition. We have new people in the house. Welcome back, Doug Baldwin, playing his droid TLXS, which was possibly stolen prototype advanced combat unit from a certain company that might have been, Russian bride mailed style out to Dr. Leth. That kind of thing.
What? Just out of curiosity, what company was it stolen from? Was it one of the suppliers for the Separatists?
Hollow One Laboratories, yeah, they were a separatist organization. They also do the IG series.
Okay, all right, okay, yep. That's fine. So Rahal probably actually would know a bit about this stuff, now, being a former separatist.
Keep in mind what a prototype really is. There is no watermark, trademark stamp, no finished chassis. You know what I mean? The guy basically looks one step up from a crest.
Yeah, but a Ford is a Ford, a Toyota is a Toyota, a Honda's a Honda. You know what I mean? Like they all have their engineers work a certain way.
No, I feel you, but I'm just saying also it's not something like at a glance. You'd have to have a look. Now, you could tell it's a separatist design, sure. Maybe an advanced one, because even a prototype, did you notice all the separatist droids? I'm not saying they have a theme. They did have variants on a theme, but the arc lines and everything for the entire Clone Wars series and everything, all the separatist droids had a certain look to them. It was very different than the stuff you find in New Hope or whatever, right? So whether there's a bit of retro DeLorean thrown in there, some Terminator 2 with the skull head or whatever type of thing, there's still some arcs and lines in the shoulder and the arm, the joints, certain servos, that big double circle ratchet elbow, that kind of thing that gives them away as a separatist product.
Yeah, easily. The pointy feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Easily. But again, there's a lot going on here that's, that would be even new to you. maybe you want to contact some of your old contacts and see, like, buy some shares.
First rule of droid stealing is you don't talk about droid stealing.
Okay, sorry. What's the second rule?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Good rule. Moving on. Gentlemen, several hours after leaving the Corellian run, your starship, yes, that's right, they own a starship, a modified starship. So many people are happy that you guys finally started filling slots on this starship. See what she can do now that she's decked out.
It's sick.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Too bad I'm going to have to chew it up. I mean...
Pardon?
Your starship exits hyperspace at the calculated point just outside of the Solarian system. Exactly as you were warned by Master Dina, you notice innumerable comets of all shapes and sizes occasionally colliding with each other, forming an enormous cloud around the entire system. Fortunately, you were supplied with a sensor package that analyzes their erratic patterns and calculates a safe path through this cloud. It is exhilarating, harrowing, and hold your breathing for many, many tense minutes, if not a solid hour, as this thing sublights and the nav computer, and everyone's hovering, backseat driving over R4's, zipping along. You're pretty sure everyone's crammed in the cockpit, leaning over Arthur, and there's all the rocks coming, that kind of thing. As he slightly adjusts, a little left, little right, little retro, too far. Once past this danger, another jump must be calculated to avoid flying debris for weeks at sublight speeds. So you do a quick hyperspace jump, otherwise you're going to have to be dig in for actual weeks of flying all around asteroids, which is crazy. However, this time the calculations are trickier due to large overlapping gravity wells created by the system's dense planet cores. I don't think people come here on vacation often or come here at all very often. This is not an easy place to get to. But you know people who've made the Kessel Run, and this can't be worse than skirting the Maw cluster. An hour later, you again emerge from hyperspace, and the planet's furthest from Claren's twin suns comes into view. Lambent and mysterious Almus. I'm going to pull it up on a little screen for you now. For our viewing audience at home, basically I've used a massive blue-gray planet with a moon covered in asteroids because of the debris that still might be lingering from the cloud. And for the very first time, look to the bottom of the map, guys. We see, oh, look at that. We see a little tiny, let me zoom in on it, a little tiny Gatroc freighter token. Dun da da da. Huh? Now, there's a possibility of up to 3 Z95s that you guys could deploy if this mercenary shows up. So for right now, they're just on the map, but ignore them. You guys are all contained. Unless somebody wants to jump into the one that you have. Right now, you guys are all contained in the Archelon itself. To chug along at a, well, not a snail's pace, but at a brisk sublight speed pace. The first thing you notice from orbit is the strange luminescence that emanates from the planet itself. The twin suns are too distant to illuminate the planet itself, and you are approaching from the side that faces away from them. Yet most of the surface emits a faint glow, except for one dark spot where the Jedi Academy happens to be located, according to your nav computer. What do you do?
Full sensor suite to see if we can detect any power sources.
Okay. You guys hit the brakes and just scan here, or you want to begin your approach on Elmis.
So Rahal will just lean down to R4. Bring us in slow there, little buddy. I want to check and see if there's anybody, trying to sneak up on us.
Okay. Bibbidi bobbidi boop, roger that. Do you actually speak binary?
I sure do.
Cool, okay.
So I was bibbidi bobbidi booping to him.
Oh, well, no. I shouldn't bibbidi bobbidi boop. He says, don't tell me how to drive! Because you speak binary. You guys, the scale here obviously is immense. Like, I've made the planet as big as I can, and I've moved you 4 squares, which doesn't seem like a lot, but this is, this is like you guys... considering on most Star Wars cutscenes where they just have the ship fly in off scene and on to the planet, it takes 6 seconds and then lands. Okay, let's say that you guys are like several of that distances. Even though it looks like semantically you could just go land, you actually are still, several thousand kilometers from said planet, sweeping up, and almost as if because you said it out loud, R4 starts beeping and whirling as, sure enough, your sensors go off, alerting you to a nearby ship. A modified Consular-class cruiser apparently was hiding in orbit close to the planet's moon, Durama, and is now coming at you fast, with cannons powering up and tractor beams trained on your ship. And as I pull up this lovely comparison of what a Consular class is and what's actually coming at you, I'd like you to roll for ship's initiative. Arthur, who's piloting, and everyone roll personal initiative as you scramble about in little circles yelling fire, fire, fire. Let me know what you guys want to do. So for our viewing audience and for our podcasting audience at home, a Consular class ship is the very first ship that you see in the very first episode that is in the Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn are aboard this ship. It's long, sleek, red, sort of leftover from Kotar as sort of a hammerhead style. It's got 3 giant circular engines on the back and a huge dish array on its butt. Comes forward in a long sleek, and at the top, looking like a little hammerhead shark, is your bridge. And you remember they parked it inside the massive star ring that belonged to the Neimoidians, and the crew in there got blown up, and Obi-Wan and them jump up. You guys remember that ship? That is a standard Consular class ship. But besides the fact that it's, was a Consular class ship, this is what comes at you. A heavily modified, heavily gunned. For some reason it's not popping up. Oh, of course. Why won't you pop up? Well, that's funny. I don't know why it won't show you. Well, picture the same ship, only there's gun turrets halfway up the body. There's a gun turret on the head, and there's underbelly turrets. Like, this thing is tricked out. And instead of all red, it's actually all white with sort of red pinstriping. And it is closing on you quickly, and I will reveal its position to you now. Voila. So let's talk about those rolls. Let's see if I can't get a tighter shot on this space combat. The Archelon's first combat. Excited. Aren't you glad that the Archelon wasn't in the Bespin fight? Because, it wasn't tricked out. And now I get to mess with your brand new, shiny new ship. This ship is like 3 or 4 times the size of your own. Even though they're both considered colossal, yours and it, and they both take up like 1 square. This thing is, you could literally say it has 5 times the firepower, shields, plating, everything. Like, this is, not a good thing coming at you. what did we get for our pilot initiative?
Arthur rolled a 21.
Ooh. And oh no, we screwed something up. Okay, sorry. So Poser, you're going first, and you got what for initiative?
I got a 30.
And next we have TLX at
25.
and then Dr. Leth,
That's 24.
and then Arthur with the ship at
17.
right? And then this imposing red striped vessel at 13, and finally
I had to get dressed first. 5.
playing with the chair. Very uncomfortable cockpit chair. You gotta adjust it while he's doing his thing. All right. So, switching over to some epic battle music. Dun 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 dun, because it's time to take the Ark. Now, you know what? This is not the Archelon's first fight. The ship was used. Keep that in mind, boys. But it's our first upgraded fight. So, starting with Poser, right? You guys got out of hyperspace jump, got through the clouds. We're here. We're a little suspicious. You tell Arthur to take her in slow and easy. Sure enough, bing, ship, decked out, locking on us, coming fast. Crap. Everyone's where they were, standing, and everyone starts scrambling around for a new position on the ship. So, starting with Poser, right? I jokingly said, well, everyone is leaning over Arthur like you're on the cockpit. That is not necessarily true. So, where are you? Or shall I say, where are you headed as soon as the alarms go off, someone gets over the comms?
So I would have been in the back of the cockpit, in case there was any rogue, debris in the way, so I can move it out if needed.
Okay. That's fair.
And then first thing, as soon as sensors go off, it's, Rahul, do you want me out there or in here?
Best stick it out in here, kid. That thing looks like it'd take you out in one shot.
Fair enough.
Turbo lasers. Don't leave home without them. Okay. Now, when he says in here, do you mean like in the cockpit or just aboard the ship?
Just aboard the ship.
Okay.
If he wants to head down to the engine room, he can head to the engine room. If he wants to, all 3 seats up front are taken. So, and the gunner chair has been occupied by our new droid friend.
Yeah, I'll head down to the engines.
Okay. So, there's an engine on each side, but there's like the engine itself, its station is 15 over here with the chair. That's like the reactor.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like if an engine gets hit, then yeah, you got to run up to it and, play with the sublight. But you can do a lot of sort of computer manual overriding at this chair at 15, I believe, so you should be all right.
Gotcha.
And I need to add our new stowaway. Our new companion. XL. Where are you here, buddy? I hope we have a mini for you. Pretty sure we got you a mini. Doug, please tell me we got you a mini. Yes, we did.
You did.
Okay.
We picked one.
Okay, so where did we put...
So I should appear when you drag me.
You put the turret at the top, right? So you see the...
Like where 10 is?
Yeah, I was going to say, you see this lovely bench chair or whatever, right? So
I see him.
I'm just going to put you over top of the reactor here as if you're in a little bubble. And that will be your relative position. Okay? So now we have a close-up of the ship. We know everyone, switching to the interior view of everybody going, scrambling around. So that's Poser. He runs off. TLX, you are told by Leth, I'm assuming, to go? Yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Leth.
Okay. So he runs off to the turret. Leth, yourself.
I would take up my chair at this as a systems operator.
Mm-hmm. Chair number 3, the lonely chair. But hey, you get to cycle shields, you get to communicate, and you're the first person that when a light flashes in the wrong place, you have to go running back into the ship to fix something, which means you'll be the first one sucked out of an airlock, a breach, face the alien by yourself. It's it seems boring, the third chair, but depending on what happens in the fight, it could be the most exciting job ever. Very dangerous. So glad you're there. Next we have Arthur, who's actually going to, fly. Now, we're supposed to go to Helmus, and there's a ship coming. So, unless you guys tell him differently, he's going to, sort of bank, take a wide, try to go around this thing, and try to get to the planet.
Arthur, that ship looks quite hostile. It looks like we're planning to engage if necessary.
It's 10 times our size, sir. You really think we can... Okay. I'd put a flight suit on, but I don't breathe in space, so I guess I'm as ready as I'm going to be to become the new space debris. Perhaps a loving family will pick me up floating in space after this battle's over. The bad guys are closing fast. And then we have Rahul, who has his cockpit pilot outfit changed into. Because now you gave up your armor, and we talk about your leveling, and plain clothes does the job. You have,
Yep. Oh, ship fight. Wardrobe change.
Runs off. You actually don't leave the cockpit. See this space behind the ladder?
No, he just grabs the front of the suit and rips it off and flight suits on it.
He's had it on the whole time. He's actually a tiny, small creature. He's all the layers of clothes make him a medium-sized creature, All right. Such is round 1. Round 2. So let me just come back to our main space map. Oops, not that one. The battle map. There we go. Battle map. My big space battle map. And the bad guys. There's a lot of shuffling of stuff here. Forgive me. Because every time I'm interacting with you guys, I have to... Now it won't even come up for me. Oh, you bugger. The bad guys are going to close. 1, 2, and a bit more. So while I'm stalling and figuring out their actual movement, okay, I'm going to say relatively that he was trying to move forward. How many squares of movement do we have in combat as the Archelon? That's what inquiring minds want to know. Anybody know? I got a ship full of bad guys, so you guys are going to have to pull.
I think it's 4, but I'm looking right now to confirm.
Okay. So while you're looking at that, Poser, you are up. We'll just discuss what's going to happen, because this movement can be retroed. And TL...
Oh, it's actually 2 squares.
Okay. I did actually shove them forward, too, so there you go.
Do all-out movement, which should let you go ×4 if you want, I think.
Okay. Well, he was told to engage, not floor it towards towards the planet or it. So while you guys are doing the shuffle of getting into seats or whatever, he's just flying.
He wasn't told to engage. He was told to be ready to engage.
Well, we'll say this movement was my first turn.
There's a difference.
His first turn, he was just flying, right? And you guys all get into your seats, right? So I'm going to pull up, I'll reposition the bad guy in a moment here as I pull him up. But that brings us to Poser.
Yes.
Oh, diagonal movement in this. I forget. Is it 2 or no? There's no cardinal. So every down is a, right? So
it's 2.
Right. So I need to go 1 down, 1 over, 1 down, and that's a me. I'll even point at you menacingly. Okay, so that was his last round. So here we are, caught up to turn 2. Poser, you're up. What do you want to do? TL, get ready. You're on deck. Oh, isn't that cute? We have TL and TP. What's TP doing? You have a job for TP?
Oh, I totally forgot about him.
Yeah. Well, he can repel borders. You can always have him hanging out in a cargo bay or something going, get ready. Right?
Yep.
Having a guy kind of free to wander might be a good idea.
I concur, sir. I concur.
Yeah. I'll flip to that map and see if I can. Do you have a mini for him? Do we have TP on here?
Yeah, he's got a sheet. I don't know if we picked a mini.
He'll wander the halls, keeping things secure. There he is. He's opposite Poser. In the, ready to run anywhere. He's in the escape pod. Ready for a new owner. Ready to start a new life at the moment's trouble of, no? Okay. So, Poser, sorry, what are you actually doing?
I am going to start spending swift actions to start regulating power, like to be able to move it up the condition track if we ever get dropped down the condition track.
Okay. Can you juice the engines on the fly? Do you have any jerry-rigging kind of stuff? I know it's not a great idea to start pulling wires in the middle of a battle, but in case of emergency, something to consider.
I theoretically could do something to the engines, but that's more of a piloting job to increase speed.
Mm-hmm.
This is just if our engines get hit or power goes out somewhere, I can reroute power.
Sure.
And boost us back up the condition track.
And you are very handy to the hangar bay in case you need to jump on a Z95.
Yes.
Okay. You can also, if Poser bails, Matt, you can have TP take his station and just tell him what to do on your turn. Because even that droid should have some basic, mechanical, right?
Yeah. He's skilled, actually. He's quite skilled.
Well, we're trying to hold him back right now. Let's not use him too much. The sneaky purchase that...
wasn't sneaky at all. I was direct. I want to buy this. And you were like, okay. If you pay the fees.
Foolish, yeah. foolish man.
So no, he's not trained in mechanics.
Okay.
Or pilot.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay. So guns out, wandering the halls. Goes up to the young Jedi. What are you doing there? I'm part of the crew, man. I do not recognize you. Face recognition scan. He's used to all the piercings. A little pressure. You got a guy with a gun in your face there, Poser. A little pressure for you. Okay, so Poser, ahead of the game, cycling engines brings us to TL. Currently, if we say the center of the map is our ship, and ahead of us, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we'll say high orbit is 7 or 8 squares, right? The edge of the planet, we'll say, is not orbit. You actually have to get onto the, sort of over the planet, we'll say, is orbit. You know what I mean? For scale, because the round falls away. Like if you guys want to land, you pretty much need to get to the center of the planet, 16 squares away, just to get into its atmosphere, and then start descending. You know what I mean? And this thing is rather close, because if it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, if we're thinking diagonally. Thank you. Oh. So pull it. There we go. Have that arrow again. 17 diagonally. Yep. Okay. I'm assuming your guns in this new shiny turret TL do not have that kind of range.
No, they need to be 10 squares or less.
Okay. What does a prototype droid do to bide the time?
Twiddles his robotic appendages.
I feel pretty, I feel pretty, I feel pretty and witty and gay. And I pity anyone who isn't me today.
Oh, that's awesome. I actually like how he actually knows more of the lyrics than we used to. Sorry. Okay, that's good. But I already gave you a force point recently, so you're not getting another one. Well, you know,
it was force point.
No, patrons are. I'm just sitting on patron force points, and I've been giving them out like candy. So I was going to try and dial it back. Gave Doug one earlier the gate, but so you're waiting. I guess you're holding. So now we're at. Now you guys can hold an action. Like if I know it sucks, but you could, if the bad guys manage to move or do something this round, you guys can always drop your initiatives in like you're holding, kind of thing. Unlikely, watching how fast it's approaching, but that is something you can do. Which brings us to Leth. What do you want to do, Leth, besides unmute?
Well, for now, Leth would be... I'm not certain if I can... Can I prep swift actions to redo shields? I think we decided you can't do that preemptively.
Not really, no, because they're at full power, so...
For now, I think I am holding my action until it's necessary.
Look at the bright side. You're beating the bad guy, because if you guys took a shot and had to go all the way down the turn order before you could react, that would be bad. So at least you guys can be on top of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to Arthur. So now, Leth, you were talking, or yeah, who am I taking orders from? The captain, commander that's beside me, or my boss, my master that's in the chair? He's very confused. He might just end up flying in circles.
Well, I mean, this ain't no dictatorship, so a good idea is a good idea, and Leth's brain happens to be a lot bigger than mine.
Okay. So what do you want him to do? Fly towards the massive ship?
No, I don't want him to fly towards the massive ship. Evasive actions, if we can get down into the atmosphere, we can maybe find a place to hide.
All right, then he floors.
That's my instinctual reaction to this.
He floors it. So the question is, can I go? I think I have to do a full round double move before I, can get up to full speed. I can't go from regular speed to like.
You
4.
just have to have moved the turn before.
I did, so we're good.
Yeah,
okay.
so you're good.
So I can go 4 times move, right?
Yep.
Sweet. I will do so. So 2 becomes 4, becomes 6, becomes 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at me go. Whoosh. Damn, I should have started you farther away. Look at this. I actually think I screwed that up because I had you guys like way too far up the map. Oh, doy. Coming at you fast. Right. So they get moving. That was their first round. We're at our second turn, like you. And yeah, they're in a position to, they floor it as well. So we moved last turn. Now we can go 4 times our movement, which happens to be 3, not 2, which means I can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and basically go right past you. Like the sucker, it turns and it comes, just fills our view. And yes, I do, like you guys do know some basic stuff about ships without even rolling. This thing has the shields and durasteel plating to withstand a direct collision from you guys. So it literally goes trade embargo, pulls right up in front. And, here's the best bit. As this, like on its turn, like as it comes flying up here, the ship hails you. No?
Thank you for calling Oberus Incorporated. Unfortunately, there's no one available to take your call at this moment in time. Please leave a message and get the hell out of our way. Click.
So you're not picking up the phone?
Oh, I totally picked up the phone and then just said that and then hung up.
Okay. A short message in reply gets sent to your voicemail, your holomail, as a reply, and the little lights flashing.
I mean, I'm at the computer for that, so
Yeah, you pull it up. Can't resist, huh? That was good though, Matt. It's like, nope. I don't want to talk to you. Okay, so replaying the message, right? This thing, but it started talking as it's coming in, and he hangs up, and then it goes to voicemail. So he records a very quick hollow message, and by the time the sucker gets in front of us, Leth recalls it, and this gentleman pops up in front of. Damn it! Again, it's not showing on your screen. I don't understand. I have issue. We see a cyber pirate, and I mean he has the dreads with the reverse orange hanky chief covered by a one-goggled cyber eye that hangs down and meshes across to his mechanical teeth. The rest of his Keith Richards-looking face is rather human. A long steampunk-looking gold coat opened up with a bare chest and a very high pantaloon, gypsy pants the giant metal belt that's way up almost to his pecs, a large overcompensating and undercarriage spiked blade underneath the long barrel, sort of a shotgun carbine, is swinging at one hip. And as he talks, he lifts a cyber arm with an actual circular blade still covered in red blood stains as this over-the-top... Sorry, the screen doesn't show my awesome cyber peg leg. We'll have to get to that if you ever meet him in person. Over-the-top pirate addresses you on the comm in his message. As the ruby dipped concert class fills your viewport, suddenly on your ship's view screen, thanks to Dr. Leth, in all his preposterous glory, is a pointy-eared near human with thick flaring eyebrows, a patch of fur on his jutting chin, a razor-thin mustache that would be the envy of any holodrama villain. And the clothes and weapons I described earlier, gloating and smiling, says it all. Let's not waste time, you star-forsaken spawns of space slugs, the man says. By the authority of the Red Fury Brotherhood, you're now Captain Redjack's prisoners. Cut all power to your weapons and shields and the blood...
Message send.
And the little flashing light. And as he's about to say the name of his ship, it just goes back to an... okay. You know where that was going. And that's our turn. Cut off twice. You just called the message up so you could hang up. It's like, damn it, Rahal hung up first. I'm on to you. Now we have Rahal.
Just checked out a little galactic lore to see what I know about the Red Brotherhood. Didn't do too well on the roll, so with an 8, do I know anything about them?
Sorry, he shut me off before I even said the name of the ship. So I will. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about the ship. I was worried about the organization.
Never heard of it because I haven't revealed it because you guys keep hanging up.
You said the Red Brotherhood
When?
in the message like 2 seconds ago.
Really?
Legit.
Oh,
100%.
Sorry, the Red Fury Brotherhood and the Blood.
Yeah, those
sorry,
guys.
Sorry, the name of their organization, the ship, is so close. I'm thinking of when Leth hung up and didn't get to say the awesome name of the ship. Sorry, Red Fury Brotherhood, Galactic Lore. And you got
Nah, never heard of them. Probably good you hung up on them.
Does a 23 allow me to help quickly fill in the missing blanks as to why I hung up?
Okay. The Blood Brotherhood are led by Captain Redjack. They have a tricked out concert class, which is probably the one in front of you, called the Blood Brother. And their tactics are pretty simple. They would actually, even though they're kind of mercantile, they're straight up pirates. They want to board and take your stuff. And they're ruthless. So if you put up a fight, they'll just blow you up and wait for the next sucker. But they would probably like to, engage, dock, and take all your shit, as opposed to just blowing you up. But these guys do have a ruthless reputation. They also have not a fleet, but they have like your mini squad. So like you guys, they probably have other ships, smaller, like a little escort, whether they're starfighters or small freighter or whatever, but they don't usually just show up with this one flagship and go, hi. There's probably more in the area, if not like dock to this thing.
So a ragtag group of pirates with a very impressive ship that presumably want to steal our possessions.
Mm-hmm.
I figured the message was not worth finishing.
And as if on cue, on our turn, as he's basically was chewing on you guys, but we get to the bottom with Rahal and what you guys are doing, okay? Sure enough, off the bottom back and just coming into view are a couple of Z95s. Two of them pop up on our scanners. And I will reveal them now. Boink. So, Rahal.
Yes.
Sorry, your turn. Like we had some little artistic license with Leth. I'll just have that take, I don't know, part of his turn when we get back to him. But what do you want to do? Oh no, you were asking about it, right?
Yeah, I was asking as well. What did I know about him? So, but
Okay.
you know,
Well, like I said,
Leth-
knowledge springs to mind. Talking's free, so it's fine. Like, you know, carry on. So let's start round 3. Unless Rahal wants to do something mechanically with the ship.
I want to ask the crew something.
Okay.
So basically, once we've, you know, it's just like, okay, it's these guys. Rahal's going to turn and say, we don't stand a chance against these guys in a straight up fight. What do you say we try to out-pirate the pirates? I got an idea.
Oh, and what would that be?
Land on their ship, board them, take it over. Space whoever fights too much.
I think he's.
I mean, the only way we'd successfully get to land on their ship would be to allow them to dock.
Would do that.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Power down. And
let them board you and then fight your way back onto their ship? Or are you volunteering Poser to like get on a Z95 and go land and cut a hole with his new universal cutting tool?
I mean,
I think the problem would be with a ship that size. There's very likely to be very many pirates, especially considering how famous the crew is. If we let
well, I'm
them
not
dock,
saying we
there'll
roll
be-
into their cargo bay and come out guns a-blaring. I'm talking something a little more espionage.
Espionage?
I mean, I can keep this guy talking forever. I know the type. But in the meantime, a couple of yous goes in the back door, so to speak. Make a little something happen inside. I don't know, little misdirection. Mess with the reactor. Disable the shields. Take over the navigation. Or, if they're running with a skeleton crew, take the whole damn ship. I like the color.
I do like the color. All right. So getting into
Ooh, we could hide in that back hatch where we found Haas.
That's not a bad idea.
rounds are actually, I'm going to tick a round. There's more than just like, what do you want to do? Let's fight, whatever. You guys are like having an open discussion. So I'm actually going to burn.
All right,
turn around.
R4. Slowly, and I mean slowly, power down. Come to a stop. And I'm going to need the rest of you guys to hide in that hatch.
Okay.
I'll keep them occupied, but you know, once they drag me and R4 off, you guys will know what to do. I've got faith.
What hatch?
Where Haas was, that little compartment area.
Oh, yeah. You guys are going to go hide in there?
Most of
'cause
us.
It was a hidden compartment.
Yeah, yeah.
Go back in my packaging.
Come out and play. Hi, are you my new dad? Just pretend. Well, no one gave you the command to fire. And even if I burn a full round and they go, what they will do is the Z95s will close, right? And they're going to give you more than 6 seconds to comply because they're going to see what you do. So if you guys start shooting, they're in position, you know, like they're literally readying actions. If you move, we'll shoot. If you shoot, we'll shoot. You know, blah, blah, blah. You start powering down, he actually revs up a tractor beam. Tries to lock onto you. Tractor beams are fun. It's like wrestling grappling rules in space, which is very suckish. So, but if your plan is to literally power down and let him win,
Yep. Go willingly.
Yeah.
Go willingly.
Okay. So now you guys, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to try to scale this up a bit here. All right.
So it'll be me, R4, and TP on the ship. Yeah, that actually is probably more an appropriate scale. Maybe not quite that.
Make them skinnier.
And
Venator.
shorter. And shorter. Like that's, yeah.
The Venator class.
Well, I'm
It's probably the closest mini you could find to represent.
yeah,
I would
and
be-
it even has nice red pinstriping.
And yeah, I know. It's
Okay.
pretty snazzy.
So they tractor beam you in, and what they do, how do I get you on top though? I want to be on top. You're underneath. What they do is they'll track you to an actual docking ring. They'll try to mount you like without cutting holes or whatever. Like they want everything intact, right? So okay. Now putting you underneath, it's like you're gone, right? So for argument's sake, we have you.
Yeah.
We have you clamped, okay?
Representationally.
Right. So the Zeds, go into a holding pattern to see if you try anything. You know what I mean? Like they're flying by underneath to see if you, like a guy sneaks out, kind of. You know what I mean? It's not their first rodeo. So Arthur tells you, the Zeds are not only are they flying in circles, they're scanning. And he powers down, and everyone's scanning us. We power down the engines, not life support, obviously. Glide in, and there's that heavy ka-chunk as we dock. And everyone runs and squeezes into the closet. Except for
Me, R4, and TP.
okay. And what are TP's instructions?
TP's instructions are to let no one come aboard.
So you're going to hold the line with TP and just you and Arthur?
Sort of.
Okay. So let's go back.
I've got a plan.
Okay,
It's all in my head.
Okay. So now switching back to where the action is, which is actually aboard our ship, because we're going to, like you said, let them board. The docking ring for us is, I think it's the back. Is that the back nozzle there?
Yeah, so we lost one of our escape pods, right?
Yeah.
So number 20 isn't there, but now it's a docking ring.
Yeah, but between 21 and 22, there's the aft of the ship, and isn't there a docking ring there? Or is it on the top?
Oh, there's there's a normal docking ring. I don't know.
Oh, duh. It's the 24. The ramp also doubles as a docking ring. There's a giant ring around the ramp. So the ramp can hit the floor, or there's a, outside of that 24 10 by 2 kind of thing, I believe is the actual docking ring. So that you guys dock belly. Because you'll either come up on something and suction cup to it, or, right?
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Yeah, so tractor beam flips you over. It doesn't even...
Yeah, it's the airlock. It actually lists it.
I believe so, yeah. So the tractor beam flips you over without buying you dinner and mounts you onto the ship. So...
Well, technically, we're doing the mounting. Just saying.
It's still not good we're on our backs. I mean, we are turtles after all.
Well, yeah. Thank you for that, because I was kind of implying, oh no, they flipped over the turtle, and everyone's like, what? Thank you, Aiden. Okay, so keeping this in relative rounds just for ease. Okay, I have Haas in a tank in front of that cubby, so let's pile everybody into the hole, right? Except for,
Haas will be in the tank still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so Poser's gonna go hide in the hole, right? And
It's basically Poser, Leth, and TL.
so do you want to leave Arthur in the cockpit?
Leave him in the cockpit.
Yeah. And TL and you are gonna be the greeting party? Are you guys gonna just stock up on a corner here and start the show, or what are we gonna do with TL?
No. So TL, I guess he does. I guess there's probably not enough room for more than 2 people in that cubby.
Oh no, you guys, if you're, like I said, you won't be able to do anything. There won't be any bursting out or pulling guns, but you can stack people in there like fish, sure. But you guys are literally like stuffed in a locker, being very quiet. I mean, like you saw how Han and Chewie popped out of that crate. There's a lot of Chewie and fur that Han had to cuddle up with. All they could do is emerge. So you'd have one character emerging. They throw the bolt, a guy comes out. Next round, or a movement, people start coming. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be any of this, we lean around and shoot and all that crap. No. So just so you know what you're getting into, you guys are stuffed into a closet. You know what I mean? But you can stack in there, sure. I mean, the droid can literally... Have you ever seen a little kid hug his knees and poke at a bug? Like the droid can, like, you know, is so bendable and flexible. He could bring his arms in, bring down his hips right to the floor. You know what I mean? Tuck his head in. He'd be like right there at the door. Hardly any room at all. You have a guy kind of hovering over him, right? Anyway, so we've got TL, Leth, and Poser in this closet.
And the comms are on so we can hear you.
Okay. Yep, absolutely. They're always on. Comms are always on. We have no secrets.
You let me know if any of you want to come out of the closet at any time.
So, and actually, I'm going to modify my orders to TP. I'm just going to tell them to look threatening.
Okay. So his little Cylon light goes a little darker crimson, but flares brighter. You know, moves slower, and his head gets down into the giggity position. You know, his shoulders hunch together, and the guns come up. You know, he does the servo get taller kind of thing, right? Gets narrow and bigger.
Yep.
All right. So you guys hear the locking mechanism as these pirates use, you know.
Oh, it's not locked.
Okay. They do, but
like actually it's pre-opened.
Hi, come on aboard. No, okay. Anyway.
And as soon as I'll hold my action for as soon as I see somebody approaching the ramp.
Okay. The door pops open, but you don't see anyone. Like I said, you guys literally just rolled over. It's, they're cautious, right? So anyway, the door opens and a singular circular object gets tossed up to the top of the ramp, and it goes beep, 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 and goes boom. And we'll see you next time on We Shot First, and we'll talk about the wonderful world of ion grenades. Say goodnight, TP. Well, if I throw a frag or anything, it damages, you know,
Rahal.
It damages the ship. But even if there's nothing, if there's no mechanics there, if you guys have a turret, a surprise, a droid, or, you know, I mean, in their odds is there's a 35 to 40% chance you have something mechanical up there. It's ready for them. So up comes, you know, a little sphere, which is actually a cluster of several ion grenades. And we'll see you next time. Say goodnight, TP.
He doesn't say anything because he's been ionized.
He looks menacing.
He's just like, his head just drops, you know.
Oh, my one chance to prove myself.